I'm a little late today. Had to do a rescue mission. My wife blew a tire on the interstate. Had to go take care of that. Hopefully, I can get this thing figured. We got it figured out in the morning. We just basically just go ahead to go pick her up, and we're going to deal with the tire change and everything else in the morning when we can see better in the light. Well, it is what it is. I hope people are all doing well. This is the 13th of January 2026, and this is Colin from Kincaid Outdoors. How are you? Yeah, things have been going a little weird today. Yes, it is. What is it going to work out? Don't have a freaking clue. So, so right now, this is what I've got going on. Got my hearing aid. Okay, so if you hear me do that, that's what I'm doing. I got hearing aids in. We're going to be taking care of her tire in the morning. Hopefully that'll figure itself out. How you doing, Gary? Glad you could make it. Yeah, we had a auto emergency on the interstate today. My wife was on her way home from work and she blew a tire. So my son and I went to go check it, see how bad it was. We decided it'd be better to try to change it in the daylight instead of try to do it at night when there's lots of vehicles coming and going, and we want to be able to see what we're doing. But glad you can make it, Gary. I really appreciate it. At least now I can talk to you better. I know when I saw you on, was it Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember which. I just wanted to make sure I could talk to everybody better. Because as of right now, wasn't able to do so. I also want to. Oh, I am subscribed to you. Okay, cool. I'll make sure I was subscribed. Oh yeah. Right now it is approximately here in Iowa, because that's where I'm from. It's not as cold as it usually is. It's actually kind of warm. We're running about 44, which is really warm for us. Let's see here. What are we going to do? It's going to, well, let's see here. I have no freaking clue. Yeah, it's about 44, about 9 o'clock. It's going to be, pretty warm for the most part. The coldest it's going to get, it's probably going to be about 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. It could be about 22. Well, I took my hot tent down the day I did my live, got everything back into a bag. Just to let you know that the stove itself is right here. That's the whole thing. This was this color, just to let you know, when I first got it. But now it's getting this color, which I kind of like, actually. And my tent, you give me a moment here. Everything fits in here. This is my hot tent. So between the two, it's about 22 pounds. Awesome, awesome, awesome tent. Can't wait to be able to use it out in the field instead of just in my backyard at the time, just testing out. Yep, love the patina. The patina is just amazing. And just let you know, when I call it my coffee break, I do have coffee. You haven't guessed, but this is even though this says beer, this is not beer. This is coffee. 1 liter of coffee. So, hey, Jay, how you doing? Thank you for coming. Yep, had to rescue my wife today. She was on the interstate with a blown tire. She called me right before my live, so I had to go. My son and I went to go rescue her. We were planning to change out the tire on the interstate, but she convinced us that we should do it in the daylight tomorrow morning, that we have more time and we can see what we're doing. So we're going to try to get everything switched out with a new tire tomorrow. and hopefully everything will be hooky dory for her to go to work. Otherwise, her car stays here, and I take her to work in my truck. But yeah, that's the reason why I'm late. Normally, I'm here at 7 o'clock Tuesdays and Thursdays, but today was emergency day, so that is what it is. But she's home safe. She's watching Picard right now, Star Trek Picard, in the other room, and yeah. And right now, I am enjoying my cup of coffee. So there is that. Jay should already know that I drink a lot of coffee. Not just a little bit. This is a lot. I drink about 2 of these a day. I know you can't tell, but yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, what's HHR? I'm not familiar with that term. Chevy? Okay. I was wondering what the heck? Heritage High Roof. Okay. Well, Jenny's is a Dodge Avenger, 2014 Dodge Avenger. So her tire was completely blown, and there was no way I was going to try to work on that on the side of an interstate in the dark. That is just not going to be able to work for me. Now, I used to have a Chevy myself, but back in the day, I've had a couple Chevys, but my favorite is my Chevy Nova back in 1975 Chevy Nova Custom. But that was back when I was in high school. Oh, if you are, that's pretty cool. I'm a Ford guy when it comes to pickups. Chevy guy for old school cars. I don't like newer vehicles. Right now, I'm rocking a 2001 Ford F-150 Super Crew Cab, 4-door. It needs a lot of love, but it runs. That's all that matters. I just changed out the brakes not last month, so it was dead in the water for the longest time. So it's got new brakes and a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, that's cool. Now, the biggest Chevy I used to own was a 78 Chevy Suburban. That thing was a beast. I only gave it up because I couldn't afford to keep driving. It was too expensive just to fill up for a tank. Nothing wrong with that. I prefer trucks because I can do my projects with them. I can go drive up someplace to go backpacking or hunting or fishing or whatever outdoors. I can do my archery stuff. Love to do that. I teach archery class I used to. My archery range was stolen last year in July. My entire trailer, but someone hooked up to it and took off with it. They haven't found it in over 6 months. Not a trace, not a whisper, nothing. I don't expect to see it again. Lost a lot of gear, like probably about $7,000-8,000 or more worth of gear. I have no idea. I am not a car guy by trade, Gary. So you're talking over my head. I am not a gearhead at all. My dad was a mechanic. I'm the only non-mechanic in my family, so bear with me. I'm the guy smart enough to realize I don't know anything. So I take it to people who do. Oh man, I'm warm. Had to replace the thermostat in my house today, so that was fun. Four banger. Okay. I used to have a 85 Ford Ranger. Loved that truck. 4 speed with overdrive. That was an awesome little truck. It had a topper. Used to take it car camping. Well, they call it car camping now, but stealth camping, whatever. It had the topper, and I used to sleep in it all the time when I went places. It was all finished in the inside. Awesome little pickup truck. It died one day and couldn't get it started anymore, and no one would figure it out. Okay. Give me a second, folks. I got to turn these off. Oh, man. I will be right back. I've got to take care of my hearing aids. Please forgive me. Okay, I'm back. Hey, Plywood, how you doing, brother? Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I had to rescue my wife today. Her tire blew on the interstate right before my live, so she takes precedence over all this. She's in there watching Star Trek Picard right now, munching away on her cereal because that's what she wanted to do. Didn't feel like making supper. That's kind of cool. About the same. But glad to hear it. Glad you can make it too. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, if anybody has any questions about my hot tent setup or anything like that from the other day, let me know. I'm willing to answer any and all questions. I'm a traditional archery instructor, bow hunter, backpacker, thrifter. One of the probably the most unique thrifters you've ever met. A lot of the gear you see behind me, with the exception of that, I earned that. And that little sword right there. I pretty much thrifted everything, including the table, my desk, chair, my coffee mug. I have not. I did check out some reflective blaze orange reflective paracord when I was at Tyson's today, and also some day glow yellow stuff, but not the glow in the dark. I'm gonna have to give me a second here. Okay, I guess Walmart carries that. How much is 1,000? Oh, I can't afford that. But yeah. Oh, I'll see about getting some of that glow in the dark stuff. Apparently, Walmart carries it, but I'm not sure if they have it in store though. Michael's, I will talk to my wife to have her check it out for me. So she's let me ask her because she literally lives a few stores down from Michael's. Hey, love, can I ask a favor? Well, when you get your tire fixed tomorrow and everything, before you come home, could you look at something at Michael's for me? There's supposed to be glow in the dark territory. Can you check see if they have it? If they do, how much it's going to be? Because I might give you some money on Friday to fix them up for me to replace a lot of my cords for my hat. For safety reasons. Thank you, my love. Okay, she's gonna go take a look at it on Friday, tomorrow when she gets to work after we get her tire fixed. Before she comes home from work, so that's going to be taken care of. She's going to look at that for me. Unless I have to take her to work, then I can look myself. Okay. The only I don't have a kukri. The knives that I carry, well, I have several that I carry. My favorite is my Flissa, which is in my bag, but I've got at least two right here behind me here. And one's for sentimental, one's for sentimental reason. One was a gift. Well, both of these were gifts. This was from Tyler Woods Bushcraft. This one here is a Coast knife. I need a new scales because this scale's cracked. Where's it cracked at? Yeah, it's cracked right here. I've got some scale material. I might have a friend of mine who was on Forge and Fire, see if he can fix it up for me and replace the scales on this one with the wood that I have because I think it would look amazing. The other knife I have, my daughter gave me from when she went to Yellowstone. Simple to the point. I kind of like this one. Nothing fancy about it, but it's cool. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Hey, Tom, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. I been bushcrafting off and on, backpacking since 2016. Been an archery instructor for over 25 years. Military, 16 years, Air Force and Army. I earned my quilt of valor right there. Whether you know it or not, I do love my bows. Those are some of my bows. Those are more of my bows. I got one right next to me. I got bows everywhere. But I do have some rifles and shotguns too. But they're down there in the cases because I went hunting the other day. Didn't put it back up. Oh, you're plywood. Okay. Well, nice to meet you, Plywood and Tom, whichever you decide you prefer to be called. I'm looking on one and looking at the other and just like, I'm glad you're here. Well, I was Army medic for 12, and then I before 4 years before that was Air Force admin. Got out in 2003. Now, I'm pro-military. I think everybody should go. I was a 91B and a 50270 in the Air Force. But considering where I'm from and where I grew up, people jokingly called me radar. I grew up 15 miles from where radar was from, and I was Air Force admin and Army medic, but I had the MOS for both in the Army. Hey, Molly. I know Jason's probably not too far behind. Okay, that's cool, Tom. Or plywood. Now, the bushcraft tent and stuff you saw, the hot tent you saw the other day is new. I just acquired it over the week of the holidays. I initially was supposed to get the Caribou 18-inch camp stove, wood stove, but they screwed up and sent me a 6-inch Miracle heat reclaimer instead, which they told me to keep. And since I couldn't afford to buy a new tent right off the bat, they told me that I was able to replace the keep it and do whatever I want with it. So I put it up for sale on eBay. Oh, that's cool. I was stationed pretty much everywhere. But I did two years in West Germany and 2 years in the Presidio of Monterey, California, and they're everywhere else after that. That was in during the Gulf War, way back in the day. But I did not get sent over, unfortunately. I got out 3 months before my whole unit got sent out. So I never saw combat. So no combat badge for me. My unit did lose a couple guys about 6 months after I left. So I can't tell you who they were or which ones. I just was told. But I was stationed overseas for a while. But if any other questions on that, got any bushcraft questions, got any thrifting questions, because I've got gear that is really interesting. Let's see here. What would you consider thrifted? Bought that new. Bought that new. Bought that new. Found that. Bought that at eBay. Anybody else have? Yeah, if you guys want to come up, you can. If you feel up for it. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm like I said, I had to rescue my wife today. She blew a tire on the way home. She was probably about. Let's see, how far was she out? I have to do a very quick check here, so bear with me here. Give me a second here. I'm trying to see what's between the way station and. Yeah, she was about 22 miles from home when she blew a tire. Yes, I carry a flint and steel in my everyday carry bag with me every day. I've got 2 of them. Let me go get one. I got one behind me in this bag, and I've got another one in the other room. I'll show you both of them. Give me a second. I've got two different setups for my flint and steel. My first set is you're gonna find the kit I think is really interesting. The second one is I find really interesting just because, you know, it's in a 4 Directions bushcraft bag that's kind of old school. But I'll show you this one first. This one here, my first one right there. This is my backup. That's not my first one though. This is my first one. Now, before you ask, this is a cell phone case that just happened to work out really well for what I have in here. I use that case to carry my Hudson Bay Survival tin. Give me a second here. I trimmed my nails the other day. This is my favorite steel right here. Look how wide that puppy is. And it does spark really well, as you can see. But I got a really nice Hudson Bay Survival tin and all the gear and stuff in my bag, one bag. And this other one here I carry in the other bag. This is my bushcraft bag. But yeah, I carry that everywhere I go. Look how thick that is. Now, here's the difference between the two, just to let you know. This is my backup. It almost fits inside my original one. But it still works just as well. And I got some really nice pieces of flint too. So, see? So there's that. I might swap that out just because I can. No, but ferro rods, I've got a little bit of everything. Only thing I do not do, before anybody asks, I don't do bow drills because I find them a calorie burn and I don't trust them. By the way, this was a cell phone case that I found in a bin store, you know, like an Amazon bin return store. And I found out that my thing fits in there just perfectly. Got those eagle on there, a little belt pouch. Awesome, awesome kit. Now, the kit that I carry in my bushcraft bag, now I've got a little bit of everything in here. Got some instant fire starter, Zippo fire starter, piece of fat wood, barrel rod number 1. I didn't bring my other kit. By the way, I used one of these in my stove on the other day, and these things work really well. Get my fire going, and I have lots of fat wood. Probably more than I should have, but I got them. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm pretty much open. Also carry one of these. It's light, keeps the bugs down when it's necessary. Survival whistle. Damn it. Sorry. I also carry one of these. It's a Gerber suspension, in case anybody asks. I normally carry mine in a pouch that I acquired from a secondhand store, but since I found this one, my Hudson Bay tobacco tin was a gift, but I found this one in a bin store last year, and I couldn't ask for a better holder for this. I'm even considering adding a ferro rod right here on the side to go through this way, because I think it would work really well right there. Well, I do have a ferro rod that can go in there because I do carry. Got one right here. Reaching in the other pocket here. My bandana. A magnesium bar. Got to have one of those. Dog tags. Always got to have those. My dog tags. With lights. Not one, but 2 lighters. Oh, yeah. My Sheffield knife, which is my utility knife. My Medic Tac Force blade. So yeah, that's what I usually carry, folks. And technically, just to let you know, I got 2 of those Olights. Technically, I have 3, and that's because I kept on misplacing mine, so I buy another one. I buy one, lose it, so I just kept on replacing it. So never be too careful about your stuff. So I always have more. I do have a bow drill divot. It's in my other kit, which is in my backpack, which is in the living room, which I'm not going to be digging through to get to that. But the thing is, I can't have I have a replaced knee. Last February of last year, they replaced my knee with titanium, and I can't kneel on it. It hurts like hell. I can't put any pressure on the kneecap whatsoever. So I can't kneel down to use a bow drill. So I use every other method I can think of. Though I do have a really nice bow drill divot, which is really cool because it's a bearing block. It's literally a bearing. But a friend of mine gave me. He's the one that gave me most of my bigger ferro rods, and it works great for if you decide to go that route. But like I said, I'm not a big fan of bow drills because they should be a last resort and not a first one. Lighter first, if you have it. Then your next favorite one, save your ferro rods, save your lighters, whatever you guys use it. That's why I'd use flint and steel first. But lighters would probably be my surefire method, literally. Oh, that's interesting. Now, I've been wanting to, the strikers I have, well, I got one I carry here. This is a piece of jasper, which I use with my bow drill, not my bow drill, my flint and steel, because I figure it's a good way to strike fire too. My son gave me this for my birthday a couple years back. We got it at a rendezvous we were at, and turns out not only is it cool looking, being green, translucent, made of jasper, which is where we're from, Jasper County. Green being my favorite color, obviously. But this right here is the right striker, I guess. As you can see, works just fine. I rarely take this off, just to let you know. It goes wherever I go. I also carry a pencil lens in my back pocket, in my wallet, along with a P38. Now, I could probably outfit 2 or 3 people with what I've got here, backpack wise. I've got 2 backpacks there, another backpack there, another backpack in there, 2 more backpacks in there. My boy's got his gear, which is a whole different ballgame. Hey, Dan, how you doing? Not for a bow drill, you know that. I use it for my ferro rod, which I have done, as well as my flint and steel. Now, I do have full-on kits that have a lot of that stuff in there. It's just the fact is I don't do bow drill because I can't kneel properly. I can squat, but I can't squat very long because it hurts my left knee. I had an accident at work back in 2023. So things have been a little wonky for me for the last couple of years. But I learned to, since I've been injured, I learned how to adjust. And I've been able to acquire some really interesting things that most people wouldn't probably do. But I'm kind of jealous of that heat reclaimer thing you got on yours, Dan. Just to let you know, if it is more efficient than mine, I'm still considering one of those if it works properly. For those people who don't know, Herbert T Outdoors is my friend Dan. He has got some. Compared to me, he glamps. But he's really cool. He does everything I do, but he's a lot more funnier than I am. I can guarantee you that. Well, I did some research, a little research on it. If it helps keep the sparks down and helps keep the heat inside the tent longer, I could see that's nothing but as a good thing. Because I did find out with mine, because I didn't have full size logs. I was just using twigs when I did mine. Well, it literally heated up my tent really extremely well to the point where I was sweating. It even kind of inflated it a little bit with the heat, sort of like a hot air balloon, because it kind of expanded my tent a little bit. Great for while it's running, but I have to try out some really good sized logs in there to make sure that'll work. But I did find out, I'm not sure how you got yours started, but the first time I did a burn in mine, and I totally tanked it because I ended up having to use lighter fluid and a whole bunch of other stuff. I found out when I did this the other day, it worked amazingly well for what I did. And I used one of these Extreme Start fire starters. Sorry about the condition; it's got some gunk on it, but this stuff burns amazingly well. I was thinking about getting a couple more of those from Walmart. They're like $1 or something. It burnt so clean in my stovepipes were not even clogged a little bit. I'm not sure about yours because I never saw. There's hey Jason, how you doing? That's fine. Um, well, I guess I wouldn't know. Well, thanks for coming, Jason. I really appreciate you being here. Saw your videos. They looked delicious, by the way. I'm not sure what if it works like a solo stove because I mean I've got wood gas stoves and I mean I've got one that looks like a solo stove right there and I can't tell you if that would work like that or not. But I'm not sure if I could justify the expense, to be fair. Well, that's cool. Um, I was using some slightly damp branches and stuff, but they were all oak, though. They were all hardwoods, which was a bonus. And it put out some serious heat. I am going to be changing some of the configurations thanks to Gary. I'll be looking into that glow in the dark paracord. Thank you, Gary. I really appreciate it. I just put it in my backyard because I don't have much of a backyard right now. And it's not set up 100% exactly the way it should because I had limited space, but I was able to get it in within in less than 10-foot width. I had plenty of length along the back of the house. Sorry, back of the house that way. But I wasn't. But I don't have a lot of space between my back of my house to the fence. But I was able to get it in there and got it up, and it was with a little bit of ingenuity and luck and some offhand suggestions for discussions from my wife, who gave me the idea. It worked out great. Now, Dan, I'm not sure if you have a hot tent or not, because I'm not sure what you're using. If I had that much space from the edge of my tent to the fence, I was lucky. And I actually had some extra poles that I end up using for this. I had poles planned for the four corners, and I had planned poles for the center poles, but I didn't have anything planned for the ones in the center. And it turned out I just because didn't need them as tall as I needed, I had them. I had enough poles between everything to make it work. Cause Shack? I'm not familiar with that one. Did you go with the One Tigers Cause Shack? Wow. That is an expensive tent. Bigger than mine by a long shot. And you got windows. Mine cost about $73. Plain and simple. Mine just cost 73 from Timu. Now I got the poles off of Timu too. Though my stove is not from Timu. I was originally trying to get it from Home Depot, which was going to be the Caribou 18-inch wood stove with adjustable legs and everything. Um, Stovepipe, everything was all 2.36 inches in diameter. but due to mix up on their fault, they sent me something completely different, which they told me to keep, refunded my money, and then they sent, I paid for another stove for a penny. Okay, that's cool. Yours is probably better built than mine. I don't know anything about that particular stove, that tent, mind you. It looks really well put together, though. I look forward to seeing what you do with it. The satellite tarp? I'm gonna have to look for that one. Okay. I've got a bunch of tarps back here. Right there. I got a whole bunch of tarps right there. I've got some Z packs. I've got a lot of backpacking tarps. That's what it looks like. I look forward to seeing your entire setup when you have your stove in it and running and everything. I expect when you guys go down, do your get together down in Missouri, it should be a really cool deal. I hope your friend that's out of state can make it too. The one that one kid. Reflective interior. Wow. I've got a reflective floor that I plan on using that I picked up off of Timu. It's a little, but it's not very big. It's like I think it's 12 by 7. Or I say 39 inches by 6 feet, whatever. A little over 3 by 7. But I also have another piece of kit that I plan on using as a floor, which is going to be used as MSR footprint that I got large for that. But my tent floor isn't very fancy or anything like that. Just one of those ones off of Timu. But I'm gonna use that to help reflect the heat and stuff like that. Because I noticed when I got my stove going in the tent, it melted the snow fast. I had snow all over the ground when I started. When the time I got done, it was just not quite muddy, but pretty damp down in there. I'm going to use a cot in mine too, because Ian and I are planning on for our trip. He's going to be using his cot. I'm going to be using my cot, and there's enough room in that tent for both. When we have it set up the way I have mine set up that day. That's a good sized tarp, Gary. But like I said, I've got some Z-Pack stones. I got some War Bonnet tarps. I got a lot of different tarps. Well, I'm sure someone will have room for them, even if you do. I know you always end up having more room than you need there, Dan. Cabela's? Okay. We have a Bass Pro in Des Moines. So I got mine at a thrift store in Des Moines. A bunch of my gear came in. I got last year really freaking cheap. The most expensive item I got was probably $15. But the item itself is worth a lot more than that. I got a light fighter tent over here. I've got a Big Agnes Copper Spur 2 tent, which I picked up for $12. My military sleep system, I paid for $8. Cool. I don't think I paid that much for a lot of my gear. I got my gear really cheap. My stove was a penny, so I don't pay much. Military sleep system. Yep. I found mine at a secondhand store here in town. At a Goodwill. They didn't know what they had. They just put it down as a sleeping bag. That's a pretty good size there, Dan. I was actually considering adding something to my floor because I was at Walmart. They had a 6x9 painter's tarp, an actual cotton canvas painter's tarp. I was thinking if I waterproofed it on both sides with some Scotch Guard and put it down on my floor with some grommets and stuff, it'd make the whole experience a little bit better. Yeah, I've got mine. Mine is, where's mine right now? Oh yeah, mine is over there. Underneath all this stuff. Yeah, I got it over there in the corner. I don't like go anywhere without my gear. No, the latest find though, between my boy and I thought we found these military issue extreme cold weather gloves. I don't know if I'm going to be cold enough to need them, but $2.50 for a pair. Ian got two of these. His are older. His are like World War II era, but these are probably about 80s or so. Paid $2.50 for these. Hey, Ground Fog, how you doing, brother? I believe it's like $20, I think. Let me double check here real quick. I believe it's like $20, I think. Just plain old canvas tarp, cotton canvas, nothing fancy to it. $24 if you want to go, and 97 cents if you want to go with a 9x12. I don't need anything that big though. Penguin mittens. Yep. By the way, Dan, I think you might get a kick out of this. I'm thinking about getting some googly eyes for this thing and making it into a Muppet. What do you think? But my hands will definitely not get cold no matter what I do. But then again, with that stove, for those people who didn't see it, I'll show you what it looked like after it got done heating up on the other day. That's the color it ended up being. Look at that patina on that puppy. That looks so freaking cool. Come a long ways from being this color. That's for sure. Let me sit here. Pretty much. Well, let's see. Let me check Harbor Freight real quick. Well, $12 is not bad. Yeah, I love the patina like on that thing though, Dan. I think it turned out really, really well. For the second burn, it actually burned hotter this time because the first time I burned in I had a lot of creosote built up in my stovepipe, and this time these things turned out well. I'll show you. Let me get some out here. Look how clean that is. I mean, it's got a little bit, see, but nothing built up in there at all. Though I do have a plan for getting these things clean. I noticed there is a flue cleaner that's like 6 inches, or I could possibly use a dryer vent cleaner, which is basically a brush to clean this size thing out. So that's my plan at the moment. I have no canvas tarps right now. I do have a canvas tent, but my poles got stolen last July. I haven't been able to afford to replace them when my trailer got stolen. I lost a lot of my reenactment gear, my archery range, my targets, bows, the whole 9 yards, and for home goods as well. Oh, I get that. Now I'm only bringing one skillet with me. I might bring maybe two, because Ian wants to bring his 10.5-inch skillet. I want to bring my Wagner for making grilled cheese, and Scott wants to bring his Dutch oven for cooking the rabbits and squirrels up in. The orange thing? Oh, that's my hat. That's my hunting hat. That's just my hunting hat. That's all it is. Now, I do have other orange things behind me here. That's what's in this one. I want to get a case for this, but I can't. I don't have a sewing machine available. But I want to make a case for this thing. Because I'm sorry, this does not quite work. This is amazing. The case sucks. It doesn't come with a case. But I don't want to give this up because I prefer this size over the tiny ones any day. So I plan on doing shelters. This is definitely a shelter tool. The only thing I didn't like it about my stove is the gloves that come with it are these little junky looking things. And I can't figure out where the other one went to, but these things are so janky. I am going to be picking me up some welder's gloves because these do not work. I actually literally had one string touch my stovepipe and melt. Oh, I got stools. Don't get me wrong. I've got backpacking chairs. Let's see here. I think my backpacking chair is right here. Let me see here. Oh, that's an extra. Oh, there's my stove. I was wondering where that went to. Okay. My binoculars. I was looking for those. Now, this is actually pretty cool. I picked this up at a bin store, the same place I picked up the pouch for my my kit for my and I added something to it. But this here's got one of these. I got to find the rest of it. I dropped the other piece on the ground somewhere, and I haven't been able to find it yet. But this is my tripod, which works great over a fire. This is heavy-duty steel. Picked this up for like $10 in a bin store. Mine barely fit me, Dan, and I am going to go get me some welder's gloves, and I feel that would be a safer way to go. Do I have leather gloves that might work? Yeah, but I'm not going to risk them. And a lot of the ones that come in there are right-handed, as you know, since I'm a lefty. Things like that are harder for me to acquire, no matter what I do. I do got one more piece I got to find for this thing so I can finish this off, but yeah. I have a backpacking chair over here somewhere, and I've got a key chair that a friend of mine made for me, which is really, really cool. What's this? Now, I am going to show you something. I'm going to suggest do not get this because it is it's a no-go. It's this thing here. I got this off of Temu. The only thing is that it's halfway decent is the freaking ferro rod. And with a little love and being extra care, this axe head is amazing, but the rest of it sucks. Because this handle sucks. The saw is even worse. That's the saw that comes with this thing. So that's my suggestion on this saw combo thing. Don't. It's not worth your hassle. Now, as soon as this thing gets hit right here, it's going to shatter. Then you got nothing. Sorry about that. I put this thing on my deal here and it went off by accident. So sorry. But this is just a little janky little thing. It does have a decent whistle. But that's about it. I would say don't get that. Get yourself a decent military one. Thought better for you. No, not my belly. I don't have a belly anymore. That was actually me putting the freaking axe on the keyboard. Right-handed chimney pipes? Well, glad to hear that you're a lefty too, there, Gary. My wife's a lefty as well. And left-handed gear is so freaking hard to find. But I got it. It took me a lot of work, but all my gear is left-handed. And it wasn't cheap. But quality-wise, my gear is secondhand compared to Dan's. Dan's is quality all through and through. I have not the quality of gear that he does. My gear is good, secondhand. Still good though. As Dan can contest, he's seen my gear. Sorry, stuffed up nose. Everybody on my when my family was sick over the weekend, my boy had influenza A. Jenny was not doing too well. You got the cold cracker? I've been looking at that one. I wasn't sure if it would be worth it, though. I was considering on getting the one from Corporal's Corner. Those are pretty decent looking, but I just not sure if I can afford the expense. I don't have any left-handed firearms, unfortunately. I could not find any of those. Wish I could, wasn't able to. A lot of my gear is adjustable to left because I make it that way. My two bow fishing setups, especially. Now, how much did your skillet cost there, Dan? I mean, like I said, I can't. I mean, the only thing I have like from like Pathfinder or anything like that is my water bottle, and I got lucky with finding that for $3, and that's about it. I don't have, and I also have their canteen cup and strainer, but I had to buy that. $15? Okay, good to know about the Corporal's Corner one. Now I'm trying to find his page where I can go there and look for it because my mess kits. I have World War II mess kits. I have a lot of MSR stuff that I acquired over the years. Oh, not worth it? Okay. So I mean, I'm gonna have to look things up because I'm not sure. I want to check out the carbon skillets they have there at Self-Reliance Outfitters, but I don't have that kind of money, unfortunately. Wish I did, but I do not. Okay. Well, I just want something a little bit light. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my cast iron. I mean, right now I'm still looking for a number 3 Griswold to go with my lid. So my best and favorite cast iron is not even an MS, not a Griswold or Wagner, and I have no clue what it is. Give me a second here. I'll show you. What did I do with it? What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. My favorite cast iron is this little guy right here. Had to make the handle myself, but that's my little cauldron. That thing makes 1 liter of food really, really well for one person. Nothing wrong with that there, Gary. That works. Yeah, I know. I'm going to try to find a decent carbon steel pack skillet, but I have no idea where to get one. I don't have anything left over from my parents. Unfortunately, Gary. I lost a lot of my gear. But my boy and I have acquired a really good collection of cast iron. A lot of Griswold, but some Wagner, some just general USA stuff. Like I said, this is one of my favorite ones. Here's my fist. This is how big it is. This pulls about a 1 liter big can of soup really, really well. Picked that up for $5 in a store that doesn't exist anymore. My grandma cooked before I came along, obviously. My dad and his 10 brothers and sisters. Cold handle skillets. I've seen those, but I wasn't sure how well they worked. I mean, I know some people sell them on Etsy and stuff like that, but I mean, I don't know if they're any good. I know I see a few on Etsy, so I wasn't sure if any of those would be worth it, depending on the size, of course. It's got to be able to cook a decent bit of food, is all. like I said, I got my cast iron. I've got my Griswolds that I like. My favorite one is my number 5 Wagner. Makes amazing grilled cheese. Um, I want to get a chicken cooker with lid for my wife, but I haven't been able to afford one of those because when I find them, they're way out of my price range, even used and secondhand. Well, that's kind of cool, Gary. I found a brand new in the box Coleman dual fuel camp stove at a Wells thrift market here in town for $80. Never used. Really? That's good to know, Gary. Do you have any of those, Dan? Because I mean, like I said, I don't have one. Now, if I did, I'd love to have get a canvas bag for it, that kind of thing, and put it in with my bushcraft stuff. Because right now I'm just rocking a medium Alice pack for my bushcraft stuff right now, and with my vintage army haversack for my camera gear. Coleman, yeah. I love dual fuel stuff, by the way, just to let you know, Gary. I mean, I'd rather have something more versatile. I would have had a dual fuel MSR pack stove a while back, but my boy bought it out from underneath me. I got them. I bargained with them down to $20, and I was told him I was going to come back the next day with the money. And my son gave him cash there on the spot, and they took it. So he bought it out from underneath me for $20, and he got a MSR International 600 stove, dual fuel stove. Oh, I can understand that, Dan, about needing a pouch for it. I mean, to be fair, if I could find something that'll fit this pouch right here, I would swap this bag out for something else. Because I think this would work for a very small skillet, nothing big, probably about a 6-inch or something. This is an old Four Directions bushcraft bag, and yeah, that's the biggest one. Canvas bag I have. The smallest one I have is a Wells Fargo money bag that I acquired. But most of my other bags are like something like this, just these little velvet pouch deals. Now I don't know if you have one of these, Dan, or not, but I acquired this one from either AliExpress or Temu or something like that. I can't remember where, for like $5. Now, the thing I like about this is its versatility. Not only is it adjustable, as you can see, it's got the different holes right here. You can rock it like this and work it over fire, or if you do it right, you can run some sticks through it or something this way, or some hooks, and run it this way upside down and hang it. But this thing is heavy, heavy, heavy duty. I didn't have a pouch for it, so I threw it. I found one of these that I had for something else I was using. Swapped it out for this, and it works out great. I think technically I got 2 of these somewhere. Cool. I like having versatile ways of starting fires. Not only do I have my alcohol stoves. By the way, I found out something really cool. Ace Hardware carries the half a gallon of 99% isopropyl alcohol for like $25. It was right below the denatured alcohol. I was there and I couldn't believe it. So the stuff that I normally get, they had this stuff right here in a tin can, about a gallon or a half gallon or something like that, for about $25 at Ace Hardware in Grinnell. Now, I don't know if they have it here at mine here in Newton, but I'm going to go look. Let me check something real quick. Yep. Crown isopropyl alcohol. And it's going for, $37.99 for how much? 1 gallon. Just to let you know. So yeah, I normally carry one of these in a fuel bottle, but if you want this right here, great stuff to have if you have an alcohol stove. Because I know how hard it is to get this stuff in a container like this at Walmart or anywhere else, but Ace Hardware carries it. I don't know if they have one in your area, Dan. You should check it out. I was looking up for fire blankets for underneath my my camp stove. Tyson's carries them for $20 for fire blankets, and they work for really good for underneath wood stoves like ours. Just to let you know, $20. The only thing I'm going to probably get with me is I am going to try finding I do have access to a CO2 detector, so I'll be using one of those, as well as being careful with finding an outdoor digital thermometer that I can carry around with me, sort of like Outdoor McGee has, so I can keep track of the temperature. No, I didn't. I don't have any camp. I mean, I've got some stoves up there, but let me see. Give me a second here. Oh man, my knees. Frack, my knees hurt. Where's my other stoves? That's not it. Those are rocks. Those are rocks. Those are nothing. Those are nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's my hammocks. That's not it. Nope, that's not it. Where'd my other stove go? I have an extra stove up here. No, I'll find it. I have a bottle stove somewhere. I just got to figure out where it's at. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Oh, that one. Is that the 2-burner or the 1-burner? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have one of those. I have a Coleman. I don't have an Ozark Trail. My Ozark Trail works amazing. And I found mine secondhand for about $8. And I use that a lot in my kitchen because of we have an electric stove and I don't like using my cast iron on electric heat. Yeah. I got a butane burner, but it's not one of those. And I didn't get it from Walmart. Ian has a different one. I'm not sure what brand. Hey, Ian. One second, guys. Okay, I just checked on Ian's. Ian has one, and his is a Talon. Has nothing to do with Walmart or Ozark Trails or anything like that. So the ones we have here in town in our house are not those. Now I've got mine's a Coleman, and I don't have an issue with mine. Ian's got a Talon, same kind of setup, different name. He has no issues with his. Oh, sorry about that, folks. I got mine is Coleman. Ian's is a Talon. He has no issues with his. I have not had any issues with mine. They're not the Ozark Trail brand. Yeah, but so I don't have to worry about ours. But I got butane. I've got the up there. I've got the propane stoves. I've got liquid fuel stoves of various kinds, both alcohol, gasoline. Ian's got the gasoline ones. I got one gasoline stove out in my truck. Yeah, I've got wood gas stove right there, and another one in my backpack, which is over here. Be well, Gary. Thank you for coming, brother. I would love to. Can't wait to talk to you some more. I'll hopefully try to make it to Thursday if you can. Thank you for coming, brother. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we don't have any of the Ozark Trail brands. I'm not a very big fan of those. I'm not a big fan of Ozark Trail brands in general, so I generally don't. I try to avoid those. Oh, I can understand that there, Dan. I mean, I've got my wood stove. I've got my wood gas stove. I got my second wood gas stove. But this one here is more like a solo stove. And I picked this one up. This is actually one of the more expensive ones I picked up. This one here is a lot like one of those solo stoves. They bought, someone must have bought it at Walmart or something, and I acquired it at a yard sale, still with the plastic in it and everything else, for $20. See, everything's never been used. Now, could you? I'm not sure how you would cook over that, but it does have a good heat exchanger over it in it, so it is what it is. Now, I prefer my wood gas stove when I need to. I got one of those. I don't have a stove for my military canteen cup setups, though I have been looking into those just because I want to. But Dan, did you hear about Stanley changing their setups? Because the Stanley cook sets are not the same anymore. It was on the outdoor review. Luke did talked about it, and I didn't know about it, but I have one of the old school ones. This is the old school version that actually locks shut. The newer ones don't, which really sucks. I got this with a whole bunch of other stuff for $20, so I got this a major deal for this one. But yeah. I don't think I've ever seen the Red Camp ones. Do you have a picture of that one by any chance there, Dan? Give me a second. I'm going to look that up because I'm not familiar. Oh, what are those? Okay. Not that bad. Good price. Okay, I've got the alcohol stove already. I don't need another one. I don't have that wood burning camp stove with folding pot stand. Okay, let me know if this is the one you have. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Give me a second here. That's what I was thinking. But that mine, the one I use is not that one. I just got that one. That's brand new, never been used, so I can't tell you how good it is. That one doesn't even have a pot stand, which really sucks. May have to correct that. So is this like what you got right here? The large one? Okay, give me a second. Which is that one? $30. Okay, that's not bad. That's awfully heavy, though. I understand the how useful it could be. It just the only thing is, I mean, I like the versatility that it could be done, used with, and everything. It's just that it's heavy. Even that one, this one right here, is this one here is extremely heavy. I like the other one I usually carry, which is like compartmentalized. It just breaks down into really small components. Still has a pot stand and everything else, and it still works halfway decent. Um, it's not a solo one, but it's a knockoff. Um, I think I got it off of AliExpress or something like that years ago, or Wish or something like that. And I'm not sure, what I can do about getting it. That's why I put it in my bushcraft setup instead of my regular everyday carry stuff because of the lack of fuel readiness. I mean, I have lots of fat wood and stuff, but I don't think I want to end up carrying a lot of fat wood enough to run it in an emergency situation. Now, for car camping and things like that, if are something where I don't have to worry about weight as much, then I think that would be pretty good, but not for like an everyday carry thing in my pack or something. Too small? Okay, good to know. Have you used it yet, or is it? By the way, did you put out your unboxing video yet? I've been asked. I've been looking for it. I didn't see it. Your stove unboxing video. I've been looking for it. I've been looking for your unboxing video. You said you was going to put out. You said you did one, but you haven't put it out yet. I just saw the burn-in one, and which is amazing, by the way. I just not sure. Oh, I get that. At least you know how to edit. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I've got film from the other day that I was supposed to do about setting up my tent that I had not. I mean, I literally got frustrated halfway through, and I had to revamp how I was setting it up just in order to get it to work better. But thanks to Jenny asking the right questions, I figured it out how to make it better. It wasn't easy, but it got it to come out better. And when I was packing it up the other day, I figured out a way to tie on the guy lines better, secure them to the areas that guy out on my tent, which would make things a lot easier. That way I don't have to worry about trying to get everything attached and figuring out which one's which, that kind of thing. I actually ended up with an extra guy line, which is really freaky. Trying to figure that one out. Got everything tied up, and I have an extra one. Yeah, I didn't have anything with microplastics or anything with mine, but you saw what mine looks like, and I think it gets better. I mean, if you use the right hardwoods. And I found out that Walmart sells hardwood boxes for like $9.90 something for a small box, and or you can get a big one with a lot of little smaller pieces for about 20. That should last quite a bit for hardwood. Which one's Randy? Because I mean, I've got editing software, but I have no freaking clue how to do it. I still don't have an intro video. I don't have an outro video. I don't. I mean, I've got skills, but I just can't. I have trouble, showing them off. I definitely don't have a theme song of any kind. Not that I need one. I do have a logo. Well, that's good at least. I paid for that one. OGA? You lost me there. Okay, I'm not sure who OGA is. You're going to have to enlighten me there, Dan. Olga Bushcraft? Is that who that you're talking about, or is that something else? Oh, okay. Forgive me. I mean, I follow him. I just didn't know. I didn't know him as that. He does all that on his phone. Okay, remind me, Dan. Was he the one that left his phone at the top of the hill at your last get together that one time? and had to hike back all the way up to the top to get it. I remember you guys talking about it, and he had to make a special trip back up there because he forgot his phone at the top of the hill. Was that him, or was that somebody else? Okay, cool. At least I remember correctly. I bet you guys gave him so much grief for that. No, I'm empty. Well, like I said, I hope you guys have fun on yours. I was waiting to hear from Scott about getting his stove. He wants to get the Caribou 18-inch stove, which I think might be too much for that. He's got the same tent I do, but in a different color. And his 18-inch Caribou stove might be too big for that. My little one works perfect in there. I mean, literally, I put it pumped out the heat really, really well. It didn't get any sparks on this thing. It burnt really freaking clean. I mean, yes, there's some soot, but not as much as there could have been. Pitcher, Oklahoma. I have to look that one up. Was that the one he did? Oh, he's the one that did the abandoned camper one. Okay. I was wondering, okay, why he kept on showing up on my For You page. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but I was getting ready to watch it. I started watching it, looks like. Oh, the most toxic ghost town. I'm going to have to watch that one. Okay, I'll show you which one that he's thinking about getting. Give me a second. It's from US Stove. I'll show you which one it is here in a second here. This was actually the one I was supposed to get because of Black Friday and everything else. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I didn't like about this one is the fact that it does not have a damper on it. Which is why I bought a second damper, because this is the one I was supposed to get. I mean, I like the fact that it comes with a case and everything else. That's the adjustable legs. I had the 18-inch one ordered, paid for. I got something completely different. And then they said, then I end up getting the one I end up getting, which is a much more expensive stove than this one. And I was originally supposed to get mine for $71 and some change because military discount. Which video? I don't think I have a video on this one. I guess somebody did a snake claw, did a review on this one on YouTube. Oh yeah, I would no. I'm looking at a place on YouTube, and I'm not a fan that it doesn't have a damper on it. So I bought one, and I kept it, and I'm not a big fan of the door or anything like that. So, like I said, I'm very happy with the one I've got. Mine's the Boss T model from Home Depot, and I am, like I said, I am very happy with what I got. No, mine's this one. And I have had no issues with mine whatsoever. I mean, I thought I would have trouble with smoke coming out different places and everything else, and I have not had anything like that. Um, Nothing escapes from the stovepipes, not up around the window, not around through the vent hole down this vent hole right here. Nothing. You think it'd come around the door with it not having any seals or anything like that? Nothing. I mean, even it's not super heavy. I mean, it's about 11 pounds. Don't get me wrong. It's not a light stove by any means, but it puts out the heat. It does what it's supposed to do. And I like the fact that the vent is in the door, not underneath it, so it doesn't get clogged with ash and soot and stuff. So, yeah. And another big thing I like about it is at the top of this part right here, this little plate up here, everything comes off. So you can open that up and put stuff in there or cook over it and everything else with no issues. Oh, I don't know about that, the other one, because I mean, you can buy more stovepipes, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm very happy with mine. I plan once I get my new poles for my canvas tent, my pavilion. I plan on putting it into a stove jack into that one, and being able to use this stove with that as well, because I think that would be amazing to have that available. But like I said, I like mine, this one right here, and I don't have an issue with it whatsoever. Just to let you know, Dan, I'm going to be going to like 9:30, then I'm going to be done. But just remind everybody tonight, I'm sorry I was late. I had to save my wife. She was on the side of the road with a blown tire, and I would have been here sooner if it wasn't for that. But she is amazing, and I will do that and drop everything for her because that's what I'm supposed to do right here. Um, Where did you get yours? 22 pounds? Mine's not that, mine weighs about 11 pounds. Now, my tent and stove together is 22 pounds. That's including the poles. Mine is the Heavy Cot tent from Timu, which is a knockoff of the One Tigress, as you know. And it works out great. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. Now, how it holds up in colder weather and under a snow load remains to be seen. That's why I like having the poles over the just standard hanging hammock type situation. That also remains to be seen. But I'm assuming that with the stability of the poles, it might hold up better than average. Oh, same with mine. I didn't see how your legs would on. Was your legs rounded and just fold out, or is it in one piece? Mine are kind of square-ish. Mine. Oh, give me a second here. Mine are like this. They fold down like that. Which means if you have something solid, you can probably put them on something like that. But I would actually have to be extra careful with the heat and everything. That's why a fire blanket would definitely be in order. Okay, good to know. I think mine actually worked better with the before when I first ran mine. I had two dampers going, and it may have caused a lot of the soot buildup that I had. The fact that I ran with only one this time and it ran better might be part of it. And the fire starters that I used helped a lot to help get it going faster. I was thinking about getting some of those fire logs and see if I can run one of those and see how well those would keep us warm in the middle of the night. Because they're supposed to run about 3 hours per log, and you get a couple of those, and you might be able to keep it going faster or something like that. I've been meaning to ask you about where to get that because I've been looking for it and I couldn't never find out where it came from. Okay. You got that side window thing. I don't have that. And you have the support deals for your spark arrest, which I really like too. I do like your bag though. I think it's kind of cool. Did you get the 15-inch one or the 14-inch one? 15? Okay. Why is the smaller one more expensive? Makes no sense. It's literally the same stove. I do like your ash tray that your that your tray can come out for you can clear out the ashes though. I do like that. But so far, the last two burns on mine, my ash has literally been like fine powder. I did see that the 14-inch one is more expensive than the 15-inch, which makes no sense. It's got all the same gear and everything. Give me a second here. I'll show that. Let me start that over again. That way you can see it. I mean, it's pretty cool looking. Don't get me wrong. I like the legs, the same as mine. Literally, the same design. I don't have a little screw for mine, though. Mine just sits in there. I don't have that. But everything else is basically the same except the spark arrestor. Mine does not have the guidelines or anything. I could probably add them though. Hmm. It's interesting though. Oh, I got a fire poker already. I got a regular fire poker. Well, Dan, I'm going to end this at 9:30 because I'm kind of tired and I have to go to the bathroom. Finishing a cup of coffee like that does do it to me, I guess. But we'll talk more about our gear later. I'll be back on Thursday. Hopefully, I'll be at Jason's Live tomorrow. But be well, be safe, brother. Love you. And I would love to hear more about your new gear. Honestly, can't wait to see you set your tent up with your stove and stuff in it. Oh, I bet. I've got some. I got a couple of carabiners on mine right now. I need a third one. I haven't been able to find the one I'm looking for yet. But I'm still looking for the gear to finish up mine. Since I got to plan on getting some more reflective ropes. I think that's going to be my next purchase. But I've got to go. Thank you, brother, for coming. Anybody else who's here, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave a question below. I will definitely answer it. Anything about my gear, anything about my stove, anything like that, let me know. If not, I can forward you to Herbert T. Outdoors. He's got a lot of good information. So he's got better quality gear than I do. I'm just a guy who just acquires things that on the cheap. Be well, be safe, and I will catch you guys later. I'm out of here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you all for coming. Have a good evening.